Stories and Documentary Network. The Rozwi Empire, an illustrious chapter in the annals of African history, emerges from the heart of southern Africa as a beacon of cultural richness and political prowess. Nestled within the fertile lands of present-day Zimbabwe, the Rozwi Empire stands as a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of indigenous African civilizations. As we embark on a journey to unravel the enigmatic tale of the Rozwi Empire, it is imperative to grasp the significance of studying African empires in the broader context of global history. The Rozwi Empire, though often overshadowed by its more renowned counterparts in other regions of the world, offers invaluable insights into the complexities of pre-colonial African societies. Its rise to power, governance structures, socio-economic systems, and cultural achievements paint a vivid portrait of a civilization that thrived amidst the challenges of its time. By delving into the history of the Rozwi Empire, we not only honor the memory of a remarkable civilization but also enrich our understanding of the diverse tapestry of human experiences. The origins of the Rozwi Empire trace back to the early migrations and settlements of Bantu-speaking peoples in southern Africa. Among these groups were the Shona people, who are believed to have migrated into the region from the north around the 1st millennium AD. Within the Shona communities, certain lineages emerged as prominent leaders and rulers, laying the foundation for the Rozwi lineage. One of the key antecedents of the Rozwi lineage is believed to be the Tora dynasty, which flourished in the region of Great Zimbabwe during the 15th century. The Tora rulers established their authority over a vast territory, engaging in trade networks and exerting influence over neighboring communities. It is within this context that the Rozwi lineage began to ascend, eventually eclipsing the Tora dynasty in power and prominence. The rise of the Rozwi state can be attributed to a combination of internal consolidation and external conquests. As the Tora dynasty weakened, a series of Rozwi leaders emerged, consolidating their authority over the region and expanding their territorial control. One of the pivotal figures in this process was Changamire Dambo, who is often credited with establishing the Rozwi state in the late 16th century. Under the leadership of Changamire Dambo and his successors, the Rozwi state rapidly expanded its influence, incorporating neighboring chiefdoms and establishing a centralized political authority. The capital of the Rozwi Empire was located at Danangome, Dodo, a strategic center of trade and administration. Here, the Rozwi rulers constructed impressive stone structures and engaged in diplomatic exchanges with neighboring polities. The Rozwi Empire was not an isolated entity but rather a dynamic participant in the intricate web of interethnic relations that characterized southern Africa during this period. The empire maintained diplomatic ties with neighboring societies, engaging in trade, alliances, and occasional conflicts. One of the most notable interactions of the Rozwi Empire was with the neighboring Mutapa Empire, another powerful state in the region. While the exact nature of their relationship varied over time, there were periods of cooperation as well as competition for resources and territorial control. Trade routes crisscrossed the region, connecting the Rozwi and Mutapa empires to the coastal ports of the Indian Ocean and facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultural practices. Additionally, the Rozwi Empire interacted with various hunter-gatherer groups and pastoralist societies inhabiting the fringes of its territory. These interactions were characterized by a mix of trade, cultural exchange, and occasional conflict, as the Rozwi sought to assert their authority over the surrounding regions. The expansion of the Rozwi Empire was propelled by a combination of military prowess, strategic alliances, and shrewd diplomacy. Rozwi rulers, renowned for their martial skills and organizational acumen, embarked on ambitious campaigns to extend their territorial control over vast swaths of southern Africa. Military conquests played a central role in the expansion of the Rozwi Empire. Armed with iron weapons and disciplined armies, Rozwi warriors launched expeditions into neighboring territories, subjugating rival chiefdoms and incorporating them into the imperial fold. These conquests were often accompanied by the establishment of fortified outposts and garrisons, consolidating Rozwi authority in newly acquired regions. Strategic alliances with neighboring polities also facilitated the expansion of the Rozwi Empire. Through marriage alliances, tribute arrangements, and diplomatic agreements, Rozwi rulers forged alliances with smaller chiefdoms, thereby extending their sphere of influence without resorting to outright conquest. At the apex of the Rozwi state was the monarch, typically referred to as the Changamire or Mambo, who wielded supreme authority over the empire. The Changamire was supported by a council of advisors, composed of trusted generals, courtiers, and royal family members, who played a crucial role in decision-making and governance. Administratively, the Rozwi Empire was organized into a hierarchical system of provinces, districts, and chiefdoms, each governed by appointed officials who owed allegiance to the central authority. Local chiefs, known as headmen or sadanduru, administered their respective territories on behalf of the empire, collecting tribute, resolving disputes, and upholding imperial law. The Rozwi state employed a system of tribute and taxation to sustain its administrative apparatus and fund military campaigns. Tribute was collected in the form of agricultural produce, livestock, and artisanal goods, which were redistributed among the ruling elite and used to support state-sponsored projects such as infrastructure development and religious ceremonies. Trade played a vital role in the economic foundations of the Rozwi Empire, facilitating the exchange of goods and ideas across vast distances. The empire controlled key trade routes linking the interior of southern Africa to the coastal ports of the Indian Ocean, enabling the flow of commodities such as gold, ivory, copper, and slaves. Agriculture formed the backbone of the Rozwi economy, with maize, millet, sorghum, and livestock husbandry serving as the primary sources of sustenance. The empire implemented sophisticated irrigation techniques and agricultural innovations to maximize productivity, particularly in regions with variable rainfall patterns. Furthermore, the Rozwi Empire engaged in specialized craft production, including pottery, weaving, iron smelting, and metalworking, which supported a thriving artisanal economy. Skilled craftsmen produced a wide array of utilitarian and ceremonial goods, which were traded both within the empire and with external markets. The Rozwi Empire was characterized by a hierarchical social structure, with a rigid system of social stratification that determined individual status and privileges within society. At the pinnacle of the social hierarchy was the ruling elite, composed of the monarch, Changamire or Mambo, royal family members, and high-ranking officials who wielded political power and enjoyed material wealth. Beneath the ruling elite were the nobility and aristocracy, comprising regional chiefs, military commanders, and influential landholders who held considerable sway over local affairs. These noble families often traced their lineage to ancestral leaders and enjoyed hereditary privileges, including access to land, resources, and prestigious titles. The commoners formed the majority of the population and were organized into kinship-based communities and clans. Within these communities, social status was determined by factors such as lineage, wealth, and occupation. While commoners lacked the political influence and material wealth of the elite, they played essential roles in agricultural production, craft specialization, and other economic activities that sustained the empire. Religion held a central place in Rozwi society, shaping individuals' worldview, moral values, and social interactions. The traditional religious beliefs of the Rozwi people were characterized by animism and ancestral worship, which emphasized the veneration of ancestral spirits and the maintenance of harmonious relations with the supernatural realm. Ancestral spirits, believed to exert influence over the affairs of the living, were revered as mediators between the human and divine realms. Rituals and ceremonies were conducted to honor ancestors, seek their blessings, and appease their wrath. Ancestor cults played a crucial role in legitimizing political authority, as rulers often claimed divine descent and sought to align themselves with ancestral spirits to bolster their legitimacy. In addition to ancestral worship, the Rozwi people also practiced syncretic forms of religion that incorporated elements of Christianity, Islam, and other foreign faiths introduced through trade and contact with external cultures. These religious syncretisms reflected the dynamic nature of Rozwi society, which was open to incorporating new beliefs and practices into its spiritual repertoire. The artistic and architectural achievements of the Rozwi Empire reflected the ingenuity and cultural sophistication of its people. The empire's capital, Denangome, Dodo, was renowned for its impressive stone structures, including royal palaces, ceremonial precincts, and defensive fortifications. Rozwi architecture employed dry stone masonry techniques, utilizing locally sourced granite and other indigenous materials to construct durable and aesthetically striking edifices. The layout of Denangome was carefully planned, with distinct areas designated for administrative, residential, and ceremonial purposes, reflecting the empire's organizational prowess. Artisanal craftsmanship flourished within the Rozwi Empire, producing exquisite works of pottery, weaving, metalworking, and sculpture. Skilled artisans created a diverse array of utilitarian and ceremonial objects, including decorated pottery vessels, intricately woven textiles, finely wrought metal ornaments, and sculptures depicting religious and cultural motifs. Artistic motifs and symbols found in Rozwi artifacts often reflected themes of royalty, fertility, warfare, and spiritual beliefs, providing insights into the cultural values and aesthetic preferences of the empire's inhabitants. These artistic expressions served not only as functional objects but also as vehicles for conveying social status, religious devotion, and communal identity within Rozwi society. The Rozwi Empire maintained significant interactions with European and Arab traders who ventured into southern Africa in search of valuable commodities such as gold, ivory, and slaves. Portuguese traders, eager to establish commercial footholds along the African coast, ventured inland along established trade routes, seeking access to the lucrative markets of the interior. The arrival of Portuguese traders in the region marked the beginning of a complex relationship between the Rozwi Empire and European powers. While the Rozwi rulers were initially wary of Portuguese encroachment on their territory, they recognized the potential benefits of trade and diplomatic engagement with the newcomers. Portuguese merchants exchanged European goods such as textiles, firearms, and luxury items for gold, ivory, and other commodities sourced from the interior. Similarly, Arab traders from the Swahili coast and the Arabian Peninsula played a significant role in facilitating trade between the Rozwi Empire and the wider Indian Ocean world. Arab merchants established trading settlements along the coast and penetrated deep into the interior, establishing networks of commercial exchange that linked southern Africa to global markets. In addition to interactions with European and Arab traders, the Rozwi Empire engaged in diplomatic exchanges with other African kingdoms and polities in the region. Diplomatic missions were dispatched to neighboring states to negotiate treaties, alliances, and trade agreements, forging diplomatic ties that shaped regional politics and economic relations. One of the most significant diplomatic relationships of the Rozwi Empire was with the Mutapa Empire, a powerful state located to the northeast. While the relationship between the Rozwi and Mutapa empires was often characterized by rivalry and competition for resources and influence, there were also periods of cooperation and alliance building, particularly against common external threats. The Rozwi Empire maintained diplomatic contacts with various smaller chiefdoms and ethnic groups within its sphere of influence. These diplomatic interactions served to regulate trade, resolve disputes, and establish alliances, contributing to the stability and prosperity of the empire. The interactions with external powers had a profound impact on Rozwi society, shaping its political, economic, and cultural dynamics in significant ways. The introduction of European firearms transformed the military capabilities of the Rozwi Empire, enabling its armies to conquer new territories and defend against external threats more effectively. Economically, the integration of the Rozwi Empire into global trade networks brought newfound wealth and prosperity to the ruling elite, who amassed fortunes through the exchange of valuable commodities with European and Arab traders. However, the influx of foreign goods and technologies also disrupted traditional economic systems and social structures, leading to tensions and inequalities within Rozwi society. Culturally, the interactions with external powers brought about a process of cultural exchange and hybridization, as Rozwi society absorbed elements of European, Arab, and other foreign cultures into its own. This cultural syncretism manifested in various aspects of daily life, including language, religion, material culture, and social customs, enriching the cultural tapestry of the empire. During its zenith, the Rozwi Empire commanded vast territories spanning across southern Africa, extending its influence over a diverse array of ethnic groups and chiefdoms. The empire's control over key trade routes facilitated the exchange of goods and ideas, fostering economic prosperity and cultural exchange within its borders. Under strong and centralized leadership, the Rozwi Empire leveraged its military might and diplomatic acumen to maintain stability and expand its territorial reach. The empire's strategic positioning at the crossroads of regional trade networks allowed it to accumulate wealth through taxation, tribute, and commerce, enabling the ruling elite to amass considerable fortunes and patronize cultural and artistic endeavors. At the zenith of its power, the Rozwi Empire was characterized by strong and charismatic leadership, with monarchs, Changamire or Mambo, playing a pivotal role in guiding the destiny of the empire. Effective leadership was essential in maintaining political cohesion, fostering economic prosperity, and navigating complex diplomatic relations with neighboring states and external powers. Rozwi rulers exercised absolute authority over their subjects, relying on a combination of military prowess, religious legitimacy, and administrative competence to uphold imperial rule. The monarch's ability to balance the interests of competing factions within the ruling elite, resolve disputes, and adapt to changing circumstances was crucial in sustaining the empire's stability and resilience. The zenith of the Rozwi Empire was marked by a flourishing of intellectual and cultural achievements, as the empire's elite patronized scholars, artists, and craftsmen who produced works of enduring significance. The royal court served as a vibrant center of cultural exchange, where poets, musicians, and storytellers celebrated the empire's achievements and preserved its oral traditions. Art, architecture, and literature flourished under the patronage of the ruling elite, with artisans producing exquisite works of pottery, sculpture, and metalwork that reflected the empire's cultural diversity and artistic sophistication. Intellectual pursuits such as astronomy, mathematics, and philosophy also thrived, as scholars grappled with questions of metaphysics, ethics, and cosmology. Despite its outward appearance of strength, the Rozwi Empire grappled with internal divisions and succession disputes that weakened its political cohesion and undermined its stability. Succession to the throne was often contested among rival factions within the ruling elite, leading to power struggles, rebellions, and civil strife that sapped the empire's vitality. The absence of clear rules of succession and the lack of institutional mechanisms for resolving disputes exacerbated tensions within the ruling elite, creating opportunities for ambitious nobles and regional chiefs to challenge the authority of the central government. These internal conflicts weakened the empire's ability to respond effectively to external threats and eroded public confidence in the legitimacy of the monarchy. Environmental factors and ecological changes also contributed to the decline of the Rozwi Empire, as shifts in climate patterns, land degradation, and deforestation impacted agricultural productivity and food security. Prolonged droughts, soil erosion, and environmental degradation led to crop failures and famine, undermining the empire's ability to sustain its population and support its military campaigns. The overexploitation of natural resources, such as timber and wildlife, further exacerbated environmental degradation, leading to the depletion of biodiversity and the loss of ecological resilience. These environmental challenges compounded existing social and economic pressures, exacerbating internal tensions and weakening the empire's resilience in the face of external pressures. External pressures from rival states, European colonial powers, and slave traders also contributed to the decline of the Rozwi Empire, as the empire found itself increasingly vulnerable to external incursions and encroachments on its territory. Rival African kingdoms, such as the Mutapa Empire and the Ndebele Kingdom, challenged Rozwi hegemony and competed for control over key trade routes and strategic resources. European colonial powers, including the Portuguese and the British, sought to exploit divisions within the Rozwi Empire to advance their own economic and geopolitical interests in the region. The arrival of European firearms and military technology shifted the balance of power in favor of external powers, undermining the military supremacy of the Rozwi Empire and eroding its territorial integrity. The Rozwi Empire left a lasting legacy in the cultural heritage and oral traditions of southern Africa. Through its patronage of the arts, architecture, and literature, the empire contributed to the rich tapestry of indigenous African cultures, leaving behind a wealth of artistic and architectural masterpieces that continue to inspire awe and admiration. Oral traditions passed down through generations preserve the memory of the Rozwi Empire, recounting tales of its founding, conquests, and eventual decline. These oral histories serve as invaluable sources of knowledge about the empire's socio-cultural dynamics, political institutions, and religious beliefs, providing insights into the lived experiences of its inhabitants. The Rozwi Empire exerted a profound influence on successor states and regional dynamics in southern Africa, shaping the political, economic, and cultural landscape of the region for centuries to come. Many of the political institutions, administrative structures, and socio-cultural practices established by the Rozwi Empire persisted in successor states such as the Mutapa Empire, the Ndebele Kingdom, and the Shona kingdoms of modern-day Zimbabwe. The empire's legacy also influenced regional dynamics through its role in shaping trade networks, diplomatic relations, and interethnic interactions. The Rozwi Empire's strategic positioning at the crossroads of regional trade routes facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultural practices, fostering economic prosperity and cultural exchange within the region. The Rozwi Empire offers valuable lessons for modern governance and development in Africa and beyond. The empire's centralized political authority, effective administrative structures, and emphasis on diplomacy and trade contributed to its stability and prosperity during its zenith. Modern policymakers can draw inspiration from the empire's emphasis on strong and accountable leadership, institutional resilience, and proactive engagement with external actors. The Rozwi Empire's experience highlights the importance of sustainable resource management, environmental stewardship, and resilience building in the face of ecological challenges. By learning from the empire's successes and failures, modern societies can develop strategies for promoting inclusive growth, environmental sustainability, and cultural preservation in a rapidly changing world. Scholarly perspectives on the Rozwi Empire have evolved over time, reflecting changing methodologies, theoretical frameworks, and ideological perspectives. Early European accounts of the empire often portrayed it through a Eurocentric lens, emphasizing its interactions with European powers and downplaying its indigenous institutions and cultural achievements. In recent decades, however, scholars from Africa and the diaspora have sought to reclaim the narrative of the Rozwi Empire, highlighting its agency, resilience, and contributions to African history and civilization. Through interdisciplinary research and collaborative partnerships, scholars have uncovered new archaeological evidence, analyzed oral traditions, and engaged with indigenous perspectives to construct more nuanced and inclusive narratives of the empire. Debates and controversies in Rozwi historiography have centered on issues such as the empire's origins, chronology, and political organization. Scholars continue to debate the ethnic composition of the Rozwi ruling elite, the nature of its interactions with neighboring states, and the extent of its influence on regional dynamics. Interpretations of the empire's decline remain contested, with some scholars attributing it to internal factors such as succession disputes and environmental degradation, while others emphasize external pressures from rival states and colonial powers. These debates reflect ongoing efforts to critically reassess the empire's history and legacy, challenging conventional wisdom and expanding the boundaries of scholarly inquiry. Future research on the Rozwi Empire holds promising avenues for exploration, including the use of cutting-edge archaeological techniques, linguistic analysis, and oral history methodologies to uncover new insights into the empire's history and legacy. Collaborative research initiatives involving scholars from diverse disciplinary backgrounds can contribute to a more holistic understanding of the empire's socio-cultural dynamics, economic foundations, and political organization. Comparative studies that situate the Rozwi Empire within broader regional and global contexts can shed light on its interactions with other African kingdoms, European colonial powers, and indigenous societies. By situating the empire within the broader currents of African history and world history, scholars can illuminate its significance as a dynamic and interconnected civilization that shaped the course of Southern Africa's past and present. In conclusion, the Rozwi Empire stands as a testament to the ingenuity, resilience, and cultural richness of pre-colonial African civilizations. Throughout its history, the empire achieved remarkable feats of territorial expansion, economic prosperity, and cultural flourishing under strong and centralized leadership. From its origins as a lineage of Shona rulers to its zenith of power and influence in southern Africa, the Rozwi Empire left an indelible mark on the region's history and shaped the socio-cultural dynamics of its inhabitants. Key findings from our exploration of the Rozwi Empire include its sophisticated administrative structures, its strategic positioning within regional trade networks, and its enduring cultural legacy. The empire's centralized political authority, effective governance systems, and emphasis on diplomacy and trade contributed to its stability and prosperity during its heyday. The relevance of the Rozwi Empire in contemporary discourse lies in its lessons for modern governance, development, and cultural preservation. By studying the empire's history, policymakers and scholars can glean insights into strategies for promoting inclusive growth, environmental sustainability, and cultural heritage preservation in contemporary African societies. The Rozwi Empire serves as a reminder of the importance of appreciating and studying African history in its own right. The empire's legacy challenges prevailing Eurocentric narratives and highlights the agency, resilience, and contributions of indigenous African civilizations to world history. In light of these findings, we issue a call for continued appreciation and study of African history, including the Rozwi Empire and other pre-colonial African civilizations. By embracing a more inclusive and holistic approach to historical inquiry, we can enrich our understanding of the diverse tapestry of human experiences and contribute to a more equitable and just world. As we embark on this journey of discovery, let us heed the lessons of the past and strive to build a future that honors the legacy of the Rozwi Empire and celebrates the enduring vibrancy of African cultures.